dudes and dudettes? How are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the good old WTD question mark here on my channel. The segment on this channel where I can unleash all of my inner rage and hatred and disdain and disgust and sadness, sorrow for the world, things that utterly irritate me. And anyway, so basically this is a way for me to rant, and talk about things that normally give me the heebie-jeebies, like for example, not talking to people, the very, very subtle art of ignoring, right? This is going to be a concept vlog, which is a vlog where I just come here and talk to you guys with just me in the background music, very little if any editing, because it's just a way for me to relax and chill and not get angry about things that have sentence facts. But anyway, so guys, look, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something right now, you watching this video right now, and I want you to answer me, as if you're actually here in the room with me right now. Have you ever ignored someone? Like actually, legitimately, literally ignored them, even whether it's in person or a conversation online? Have you ever just not answered a person at all? Huh? Okay, cool. If you actually answered out loud, I hope there was nobody nearby. Maybe they'll think you're crazy or something talking to your phone. But anyway, so there is a very, very, how can I explain? There is sort of like a certain relaxing charm, let's say, to ignoring somebody that you don't like or that said something that irritated you. I have a very, very, possibly unpopular opinion that ignoring people is actually very, very useful, in many situations, in many contexts, I'm trying really hard right now, for example, to ignore this dog barking in the background. Bro, I woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning and it was quiet until I turned on the goddamn camera to record. Will you please shut up, you stupid mutt? Aw, come on, man. Okay, let's just relax. Let's try to chill, okay? It's a very cute dog. I've seen her before. She's playful. Let's just relax. Because she's done now. But anyway, so ignoring people, right? I have a very unpopular opinion that ignoring people actually does show a bigger sign of maturity than doing the opposite. I do understand that, I understand why some people think it's immature for you to just outright ignore someone, I believe that it means more to be an adult for you to, see somebody who did or said something that bothers you and actually talk it out, try to resolve your issues, be a communicative person, be more extroverted and try to actually discuss, what's going on with them. I understand that shows much more level-headed maturity, and women in general are much more mature than men, especially when it comes to this, although I have a few examples of ex-girlfriends who don't fit that bill, but that's beside the point. I think that men are less mature than women in this aspect here. We actually do prefer to just ignore people completely. We don't really feel the need to talk to them, although I could just be speaking for myself, but I actually have a justification in why I actually prefer to just completely ignore people and not even try to address certain issues. And all of it comes down, most of it rather, comes down to impatience. I recorded a vlog some time ago talking about patience, a concept vlog similar to this one, but I think that one there, I can draw a little bit from that one here to implement some of my arguments in this one. I want you all to hear me out on this one before you judge me, okay? So, look, I'm not a very patient person when it comes to dealing with other people most of the time, in the workplace, as a teacher, I'm very patient, because I need to be. I have students, I have to teach them things, and I have to be patient when they're asking questions, if they don't understand something, in the classroom, as an instructor, I am a guru, I am Buddha, I'm completely patient, but outside of work, I'm the exact opposite. I lose my patience very easily around the house, when I'm doing chores, or playing video games, or even recording a video for YouTube. When something doesn't go my way, I do tend to be very impatient. Although honestly, I think as a content creator online, I'm actually more patient because, I do have to wait for hours, I do have to sit on my computer for hours editing videos, sometimes waiting even more hours for them to export, and then upload. So maybe that's not the best example, but outside of work and YouTube, I am a very impatient person, and, I struggle a lot with certain, mental health issues. Like, I'm not crazy, but I do have a long and very arduous history, you know, a past with depression and anxiety and some very dark thoughts, you know. So like I've actually learned as the years have gone by to reduce the amount of issues and problems that I have so I can feel less pain and less frustration. So whenever I'm presented with a problem that frustrates me, if there is a way to resolve it, I will. But if there is a way to just push it aside and look the other way, that's usually what I choose. Like if I can walk away from a problem without needing to resolve it, then I will, you know? Like if it's not necessary to resolve that issue, it's very, very unlikely that I will, you know? Because in my head, it's just an opportunity for more stress, you know? More anxiety and you know, and possibly anger, you know, and sadness to seep into my personal life, you know. So I will completely ignore that problem if I can. There are some things that you can't walk away from. You can't just turn your back on something that actually needs to be resolved. So a lot of times I will take care of something, but it's gonna drain me a lot emotionally. So I prefer to just walk away and just either let time resolve it or let somebody else come in and do it, you know. Now this actually comes from my past of trying to deal with people who are not very open-minded, you know. I mean, it's really complex, man. Like if somebody has a different opinion than me, I can usually respect it, you know. I like to talk about it sometimes and get different perspectives on a certain topic, but there are some people that really irritate me because they seem to be unable to respect your opinion if it's different than theirs, you know. So if I'm having a conversation with somebody who's berating me and trying to, you know, basically bashing my opinions and trying to convince me that they're right and I'm wrong, usually I walk away from that conversation and just completely ignore them, you know. Before I even realize it, I'm giving them the cold shoulder, which makes me feel a lot better, you know. And this is obviously much easier online, you know, whether you're talking to somebody through text messages or a social network, you know. You can just choose to completely stop answering them completely, and if they keep insisting, you know, eventually you can just block or unfriend them, you know. I have done this a few times before, very, very few times, but still, it's what makes me feel good, man, you know. Whenever there's something trying to come in and infiltrate my joy, my little ball of happiness, of peace and satisfaction, I tend to repel it, you know, usually very aggressively, and I don't care, you know. Like if I ignore somebody and it hurts them, I don't care, because at the very least I completely eliminated a problem that would have stressed me out, you know. And throughout, when I have free time outside of work, I like to do things that are enjoyable, you know. I do YouTube videos, I play video games, I watch movies or TV shows. I do not like to waste my time talking to people who are just going to irritate me and make me feel like, you know, the conversation isn't productive and isn't really going anywhere. I don't know, man. In my head, it just makes so much more sense, you know, like, I don't know, I'm sort of like this, let's say, a master ignorer, you know. There is a very subtle art when it comes to ignoring people. There is a way to do it, you know, and if you do it right, I mean, you feel good, and it doesn't matter what the other person feels because you won't care how they feel, you know. When you stop caring about what other people think and how they feel and think more about you, that's when you start to have a better awareness of your emotional state, you know. Because if you care too much about other people and don't care about yourself, then your life is going to be miserable, you know. So like and I'm somebody who's ignored many people and also been on the receiving end, you know. I've been ignored also when I've tried to talk to somebody, you know, not necessarily to cause a problem, just talk in general, and the person doesn't answer me. So I know that it sucks at first. You're like, wow, the person doesn't give a crap about me, but eventually you get over it, and everybody else does too, you know. I think it's much easier, you know. This is just my personal opinion, you know. It's based on my personal experiences, and I just personally feel like there's something to it, you know. Like if you consider yourself emotionally mature, and you know, you can like, I don't know, if you're going through a problem with somebody, you know, and you feel the need to talk to them, you know, and clear things up and actually have a healthy relationship, if you can't see yourself ignoring somebody, hey, honestly, props to you. You know, I really do applaud that level of maturity, you know, and I just can't do the same. You know, I really can't do the same. You know, I recognize that it's more mature to talk rather than just ignore, but at the same time, I think that having the ability to walk away from something that doesn't grow you and that might potentially lead to bigger issues down the road, I think takes more guts. You know, like I think that owning up to something and apologizing to somebody is good. You know, owning up to your mistakes, but if you can walk away from something without provoking something worse, I think that's actually even better. You know, and it shows that you have a very hard shell on the outside. At least that's my opinion. That's what I think personally, and I think that ignoring people is a very, very good and candid art. You know, it's very underrated. Like, there are you shouldn't just completely block people on social media unless it gets to that point. But you know, like, if somebody keeps trying to talk to you and pester you about something and you never give them the time of day, that's gonna, you know, give a very strong message. And maybe they'll take the hint, maybe they won't, but I prefer to just do that. You know, it's so much better for me down the road. It just makes me feel so much better, you know, and I just like it. You know, I enjoy the thrill of it. You know, if I can walk away from something without any drama, that's just the best for me. You know, just, you know, slip out the back before they even know you're there. You know, like in this Fort Minor song here, you know, by Mike Shinoda. You know, just quietly, you know, recede, you know, remove yourself from the area, and then but by the time people notice, you're already gone. You know, that's how it is. You know, just ignore people. You know, that's just how I think, man. Makes me feel good, might make you feel good too. So let me know in the comments below what you think. You know, if you agree, disagree, if you have the same habit as I do. You know, if you know, just like, if you consider yourself as impatient as I am, you know, because that's just how it is, man. You know, like when I'm talking to people like this, I lose my patience very easily, and I just prefer to ignore them outright. You know, like it's like the only way you're gonna hold a conversation with me is if you can contribute to it, if you can make me feel like, you know, it's going somewhere. But if we're just gonna keep, you know, rambling on and on, you know, about different opinions without actual, without actual concrete, you know, conversation, I don't know. I'm just gonna ignore you, you know, and I want to hear from you guys down below. And if you happen to like this mini little rant, please go ahead and like this video and also subscribe to my channel, because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too, so you can know exactly what time I upload. And it's all good. It's all good. I hope the lighting looks okay, by the way, because I forgot to turn on the stupid light above me here, so hopefully it doesn't look too dark, but maybe I can fix it in post if it does. I don't know. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'm gonna get going because I'm running a little late and I'm hungry, I'm cranky, which is the perfect theme for this video here for me to feel. And that's it. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen, I say very impatiently.